Free to live my life, evolve into what higher me, channeling my pride in me. Transformation.
Yes, my drillers. Hope all is good. Hope all is well. Penultimate show of 2024. What a way to finish off the regular programming. You're locked in with me, K-Slice, on the Juice Presents for the next 2 hours, the breakfast edition, the breakfast that we all love to hear. I'm going to be spinning the dials, like I said, for the next 2 hours with some of the freshest sounds to your ears. And yeah, we have so much to unpack on the show. So much to unpack on the show. Oh, that tune is so cold, and I'm so jealous that Summer Pearl was in the studio. Like, what a great guest. Definitely go check out that interview because it's honestly so mad and it deserves all its right, because yeah, she's been doing some incredible stuff and can't wait to hear what she does in 2025. But without further ado, let's go straight into the artist ascending. And this one is actually a bit mad because things has changed. And like I said, this is like the penultimate show of 2024 and the penultimate show of programming. And it was this time last year that we did exactly the same thing, but with the exact same guest. But times have changed and it's quite exciting. Yeah, we've recently taken this artist on, and I mean, so far so good. I hope I'm doing my job well, but it's been a pleasure, and it's so great to see some of her releases that have come out. The project is going to be mad in the new year, and I guess we'll just like go into the nitty-gritty of it on the show. But without further ado, let me introduce D to the I to the A to the D-A-Y. This is D-A Day. Hello. Wagwan, my G. You thought I was going to call you Chicken Fillet?
Fam, I was waiting. I was absolutely waiting for you to say something outlandish, and then you just said, hello.
You know, I can't do this like unprofessionalism on air, you know.
I'm so sorry. Let me reel it in.
Stop it.
Hello there, Karina. How are you? So good to be here.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic.
Things have changed in a year.
Things have changed.
Mad.
Yeah.
And it's in a good way.
In a delectable way. In a fantastic way.
Tell us what you've been up to. What's been going on in life?
Well, firstly,
not that I don't know anyway.
I mean, exactly. Firstly, basically, I have this like really, really charismatic, incredible, on top of everything manager who happens to also be an incredible DJ.
I'm dead.
I wonder who it is. Yeah. And then apart from that, obviously, I've actually been releasing music.
You have actually.
I've got more than one tune out,
That's
which
crazy.
is quite an improvement from this time last year.
It is.
I'm putting out straight bangers.
Yeah.
The project's done, which it very much was not done this time last year.
True.
So onwards and upwards, matey.
Yeah, I know. You've been releasing some crazy stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm very partial because I've heard the project. So I know what
the project's about you, yeah. It's all about you, man.
It's all about me, you guys. It's all about me. She just knew. This is like for saying the future. She just knew.
I just knew that I was going to meet you, and like I couldn't have thought of a better muse.
There we go.
Yeah.
But for those who haven't seen, the project is called Letters to L.
It is indeed.
I know quite a lot of it, but some of the listeners might not know. But I'd love to dive deep and tell us a little bit about Letters to L.
Yeah, so Letters to L, it's interesting because I always wanted to make it an album or a project. And there were a few times I made a start at it, and there was one time where like, the files got lost, or like, there was just like plans or ideas I had for a project. And actually, this project kind of came about by accident.
Yeah.
Because in the midst of me trying to like make this like cohesive conceptual project, I went through a relationship, and I was writing songs all throughout the relationship, as artists do.
Obviously.
And then looking back on it, I realized like actually it tells a full story and it gives a full picture.
Yeah.
And so basically like the concept of Letters to L is I guess like the demise of a relationship and what happens when, you know, you kind of don't look at the right things or you don't go about things the right way. It's about when you like, I guess, idolize a person or idolize a scenario, and you don't focus on what really matters. And so Letters to L is like it's a very organic project. It's very like deeply personal as well. A lot of the songs I wrote I didn't write them for the album. I wrote them to get my feelings out. They're almost like diary entries. And I always say I'm a very like diary-esque songwriter as it is, but these were actually kind of like diary entries that weren't necessarily like meant for anyone to hear. So it's a personal in-depth catalogue of like all the experiences that you've had all
so
my
far.
feelings, exactly.
And it's like I'm putting them on paper.
And so it's interesting. So at some point, you know, I had recorded all these songs as we went along, and then I looked back and I was like, whoa, I actually have an album here. And I feel like it really tells a story. It's interesting, the relationship that the album's about, it actually was long distance for quite a while. And so I sent a lot of letters to the person that this is about. And I think actually I sent the same amount of letters as there are songs, which is kind of a coincidence, but
I didn't even know about that. That's sick.
And so it's interesting. I guess it's kind of symbolic. And so I guess the concept of the song is, you know, I'm speaking to a person throughout the course of a relationship, and each song is a letter at a different point in that relationship. And so like through the songs you can kind of see the evolution and the trajectory. It's very, I feel like it's very it's just very honest. I think you know, a lot of these kind of projects can be very like, oh, bun you kind of projects, and this one very much is like here's how I feel, here's how I've done wrong, like here's the big picture. But I'm really, really proud of it, and I like it a lot, even though it is quite a heavy project.
It's a heavy project. And like we've said so many times, like it's not a project that you would probably want to put on a big stage and that everyone's standing and like enjoying it.
We've been talking about this. It's interesting. I feel like I'm very much there's two sides to me, because I'm a very much like bop grime, like energy, you know, like I MC events and stuff, so that's kind of what people know me for. But then when it comes to my own music, especially this project, my music can be quite like somber and like introspective. And me and Karina have been talking about this quite a bit, where I'm like, see, when I do a show, it has to be seated. Like, it actually has to be seated, because I can't have people standing still while I'm doing these like depressing songs. Because it's interesting as well, like the last few shows I've done, like people have cried, and then I have like this recurring dream of like being at a venue and everyone just standing there crying while I'm performing, and like not in a good way. So I'm like, man, these people, they need to sit down, have a little glass of wine. I feel like it's one of those like lean back, close your eyes type of projects. But that's pretty much the rundown of Letters to L.
No, I'm excited. I'm so excited for it to come out next year as well. Obviously we're not going to tell you the date yet or anything like that, because that's always in the process, but it's definitely coming, and I think people need to be ready, because once this project is out, it's a body of you.
It's true. And to be fair, like I think like a third of it is actually out already. So
you can already like have like the tastemakers and the taste in your ears and see what the album's going to entail, which is really, really exciting. Obviously we recently did a session at Metropolis.
We did,
which was crazy.
It was so vibes.
And just like as you touched upon, you made people cry in the studio. Like literally, it gives you shivers. Even when you do like your MC nights and your host nights with What Does Not, you make people cry.
Yeah, man.
It's just part of
what can I say? Like, I'm not trying to. After this album, I might have to just make like a really vibey project just to balance it out, so people don't associate me with being like one of those artists.
One of those artists that make you cry all the time.
Because it's so funny. I feel like it's such a contrast to me as a person as well. Like I'm like the least serious person, and then you hear my music and it's just like, wow, is she okay? Like, but Yeah, man. It's funny actually. At the last What Does Not, I was hosting. If you don't know, basically I host a monthly music event at the Ministry, and it's presented by What Does Not, which is a culture agency, put on lots of different events, and I host the music events which are called Noise. And so at the last one, it was like a lot of really upbeat acts, and I was obviously hosting the whole night as I usually do, and so it was very like high energy, yeah. And then it was time for my set, and suddenly it was like, right guys, let me tell you about my heartbreak. And the contrast was actually almost like comedic, like it was so funny. But even that, like it was still a vibe. And
no, it was the right vibe for them, and even like just adrenaline, it was just crazy. Like everyone was just locked,
literally
everyone was locked. And you know when the room is like silent because they're listening to who's on stage, like it genuinely was like you could hear like a pin drop, and it was just crazy. And your mum cried. It was crazy,
man.
Everyone cries.
I think I've caused her a lot of tears over the years anyway.
You make me cry. It's all vibes. But I guess that's a good thing, because it just means that it's relating with the emotions. I love the Promise, who's one of the BBs, right? She's in the background like cackling. It's the most hilarious thing of life. But do you know what? There was a really cute moment at What Does Not on the Noise where like Promise sung back to you your lyrics.
Yeah, it was proper
so
cute. I put her on the spot because she was standing in the front. And like my throat was getting a bit dry. I'll be so for real. Like I was like, I just need to clear my throat quickly. Like that's actually what happened, in case you didn't know. I wasn't trying to be wholesome. I was like, I need to do like a quick you know. So I saw her and she was singing along anyway, so I just slapped the mic in front of her face while I cleared my throat, which to you guys must have looked like a really wholesome like friendship moment.
It was so cute.
But for me it was like tactical, like ninja type stuff, you know. But yeah, it was proper cute. I feel like we have a lot of cute moments, man. It's so funny. There's this video on TikTok that like blew up, and then like people are commenting and they're like, oh, that lady that came over to hold your hands and sing with you, man, so wholesome. And I'm like, yeah, that's my bestie, man. What do you mean? So jokes.
But it was actually quite a cute moment.
It was a cute moment, man.
It
was indeed.
In terms of as an artist, what have you learnt from the project?
Do you know what? I think I've accidentally learnt my sound. Like I think before there wasn't really a consistent sound. I hadn't figured out how to blend, and I think we talked about this actually this time last year when I was on the show. Yeah, I was like, I really don't know how to blend the fact that I like sing and I do like neo soul and proper ballady stuff and singer-songwriter kind of music, and the fact that I do like storytelling rap and it's kind of bouncy storytelling rap. I was like, I don't know how to marry the two, so I'm making some songs that sound like this and some songs that sound like this. And I think throughout the course of this project I've managed to blend those sounds, and even in the songs that are just purely rap or are just purely me singing, they just integrate like all of the genres that I span across. So I think that's one thing that I've learned. I've also learned that sometimes, like in terms of collaboration, actually like less is more. Yeah. I think before I was really excited and keen to like work with loads and loads of producers, and actually if you find something that works, you should just lock in. Yeah. So like the majority of this album, but one song, was produced by Patris, who's like my like long time collaborator, boss man as we call him, the boss. And I think just locking in and building that relationship with someone so that he understands not only like my sound and the way that I write and all of the sonics and stuff that I like to include in my music, but he also understands me as a person, and so it kind of saves having to like re-explain things to a producer and readjust to working with a new person. So that's another thing, and I think I've learned to be like less precious about things.
Ooh, okay.
In the sense that like I think before I was a bit of a perfectionist, and I just didn't want there to be anything that anyone could fault. Like, oh, this is a bum note, this is a dead bar, this is a whatever. Even in terms of like when I would do interviews and stuff, I was so awkward and so nervous about what I was gonna say, and I would like really restrain myself. And I think I've learned like the beauty in authenticity and an imperfection.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking, like, a lot of the music that I feel like really speaks to me, it speaks to me because you can feel the emotion in it.
Yeah.
Because someone's voice is cracking, or because, you know, like someone's like made a mistake. Like, do you know what I mean? And so I think I've just learned to like leave things in. And things that I would have once considered mistakes, or, you know, something that I
or
couldn't...
like cutting it or anything like that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Those have actually become like my favourite parts of certain records. Like, I probably shouldn't say this and my producer's going to be annoyed, but like at the beginning, at the end of one of my songs, I think I had like banged my arm, or I don't know, I banged into the mic.
Oh, crazy.
And you can like hear me like bang into the mic, and it's at the end of Roots actually, so
Oh,
there's like
mad.
these really like cool layered like harmony vocals,
Yeah.
and in the background you can just hear this like thudding into the mic, and like we tried to fix it. Well, I say I don't know how to do that. Boss tried to fix it, but he couldn't
fix it.
and so we left it in because I didn't want to re-record all of those vocals. But to me now it sounds like a heartbeat, like it sounds like intentional,
it's like a
and I
pulse.
really like it. Or like and like some of the other songs, like my voice is crack-a-lacking because I was ill, or I was tired, or I was sad, and it actually just adds so much emotion. And those little things that I would have been like, oh, we have to re-record this, mate, they've become my favorite parts of the songs. I mean, honestly, I could go on forever about what I've learned making this project, because it's been a really long time in the making. I think the first song I wrote from this project I wrote 4 years ago.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so that you learn a lot over 4 years, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
And
course.
I think intentionally we were like, okay, this is an album, maybe about a year and a half ago or something like that, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know. But yeah, man, endless lessons. But I feel like, I feel secure in who I am as an artist and what my sound is, and I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, I think discovering that and now knowing how to piece it together, yes, you can do like, you know, the riffs, the louds, the quiets, the softs, you know, it's all raw and it's all nice, but you can also go as hard as spitting as well, and it can be very poetic and very like led in melody as well. So it's so nice to also like work with you and get to know your style and your schedule and see how things collide, and you're like, wow, that's crazy. And one thing that I learned about you, which I didn't know, is all of the lyrics that you do write, it's all memory. You don't like write them down unless you're writing a specific section or whatever, but like everything is up in your mind. So which is crazy.
I do write them down eventually. Like I write them, okay, here's what it is. I write them down, but I don't write them on paper or like on my phone. Well, rarely. Sometimes if something starts coming to my mind, I will start writing it down and then rearrange it in notes or whatever. But generally, my ideas come to me when I don't really want them to be coming to me. And so I'll end up arranging whatever I'm writing in my head. To be honest, most often it actually comes when I'm in the shower. Like all of my best ideas have come when I'm in the shower, and sometimes I've like run out the shower to write them down and like whatever.
No, you've cut your shower just so you can write your lyrics.
Yeah, I was actually talking about this in the other interview that I did this week. Like I will literally jump out the shower and I'll be like dripping all over the notepad. My phone won't unlock because my hands are still wet, and so I had to learn, because I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't be interrupting. Sometimes it's a hair wash situation, yeah.
Wow.
And there's actually shampoo in my
wow.
eyes, and I was like, for those situations where there's shampoo in my eyes, I can't be jumping out the shower to write things down. I was like, surely, Dia, your memory's a little bit better than that. So what I'll do is I'll write it in my head, but I'll add a line on every time.
That's
and I'll
crazy.
keep going back. You know that game that people play where it's like, I went to the market and I bought a frying pan. I went to the market and I bought a frying pan and a lemon. Literally, that's how I write my bars, like especially in the shower. I just keep adding little bits.
That's
and then
crazy.
when I get out, then I write them down. But it's really interesting. I was having a conversation with my friend Joshua Luke Smith, and we've got a song together called Love It All.
You do.
And he was saying he's very similar, where he doesn't actually sit down to remember or to learn his bars, because I mean the same brain that like conjured them up is gonna make the same links. So it's like he writes it and he just knows it because he's the one that wrote it, and that's very much how it is with me as well. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird because I genuinely have like a terrible memory when it comes to literally anything and everything else. So I'm not sure how I managed to remember all of this stuff. But the annoying thing is actually that I remember all of my songs, but when I write like throwaway bars and stuff, I write them down because they don't like come to me. I have to like try and write them.
Yeah, of course.
And then those ones I don't remember.
Wow.
So I could have like loads and loads of verses and I just don't remember. I don't even remember not that I don't remember the verses, I don't remember that they exist.
Interesting.
But
okay.
sometimes as soon as like I've like remind myself of the first line or like I see the first line, then I don't know, my brain now like connects it and then I can remember the whole verse.
It's like the wires wired together and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I remember how the rest of it goes.
Yeah, like I just can go.
So I could literally go from not remembering that a verse even exists to seeing the first line and be like, oh, I remember the whole verse now. So yeah, man, it's interesting how artists' brains work, for sure.
That's why I'm obsessed with it. That's why I like to unpick your brain.
Oh.
It's so interesting. If I could live in the world of Dia in your brain, I think it'd be such a fun
I don't
world.
think you'd want to.
No, I think I would.
I don't know about that. I feel like you...
I technically do.
Yeah, it's true, actually. It's actually true. You're like my human diary. You just get like all of the nonsense, no filter.
No, we've decided that we also want to create a dictionary as well of all of our, come up words.
A dictionary.
And
that will be the first word in the dictionary.
I love that.
Thank
Because we
you.
all say like different phrases and then we're like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't lie. The way we talk doesn't make sense.
No.
Especially the way we greet each other. Like, no. If you guys knew, honestly, I think that me and Karina are like the worst nightmare for like old people on the train.
Yeah, no.
They hate to see us
hate
coming.
us.
They absolutely hate to see us coming. Every time we're on the phone, like some old geezer called Terry is just getting like proper disturbed
I
by
love that you chose Terry,
I had
not
to-
Keith or something.
I don't know. Yeah, I just came to. Do you know what it is? I had one of those Terry's chocolate orange.
Oh, yes.
Those what's it called? Coffee? No, not coffee. Hot chocolate. That's
Hot
the one from Costa. This isn't unsponsored, but big up. I like Costa, and that's why Terry was fresh in my mind. I do like them hot chocolates. They're very nice. Anyway,
I love that.
but yeah,
Amazing.
Wow.
In terms of, I think these are like some of my last questions before we jump into something quite exciting. But in terms of when the project does come out next year, what's next for you? I know
Something less depressing, man.
Stop it.
I've been saying, I don't know. I'll be honest. I have literally written my next like 3 projects.
Yeah.
They're also
They're
done and they're ready
Guys,
to go.
They're actually there. I've seen them.
So it's about what order I decide to put those out in. But part of me just wants to actually pause all of those and just do like either loads of features and like vibey music. Because I feel like my projects predominantly are like solo projects. It's very much me talking to myself or me talking to someone.
Myself, and
I, do you know what I mean? But I really miss collaborating with artists, and there's so many artists that I'm around all the time that I'm friends with that I just want to make music with. So it might be a put the project on pause situation and and release a bunch of singles, a bunch of collabs, or it might be a situation where I don't know, I make some sort of like collaborative EP or album with everyone that I would want to work with,
like a Dear Day and Friends.
Dear Day and Friends, or I actually just release one of the projects, but like the least depressing one. We shall see. I was going to say I've not thought that far ahead. I have thought that far ahead, but I haven't decided yet exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I feel like the space is unknown, but what has been discussed has definitely been discussed and it's ready.
Yeah.
And I think it's just in the combination of how we do it.
Exactly.
I mean, how we bring it out to people.
Whatever happens, I feel like after this album comes, there's not really going to be a pause because there's just so much stuff ready to go. It's like, I don't know what you guys are going to get, but you'll definitely be getting something.
You'll be getting something
You'll be getting straight bangers.
It'll be, do you know what? I'm genuinely like, I'm so excited. I'm just excited for the whole thing to kind of pause and let people listen to it.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, that's actually always been my main goal in making music. Like when people ask me why I write, I mean, apart from getting stuff off my chest, I think it's very much like I want people to feel understood. And I think a lot of the time people will say stuff, but they'll sanitize it. They'll say it in a way that makes them look good, or they'll say it, I don't know, just in like in a really general sense. And I think because I'm so like vulnerable and so like straight up in my music, I hope that it resonates with people and it makes them feel like, you know, their experiences aren't like their difficult experiences aren't unique to them, and therefore makes them feel like understood and I guess less alone in whatever it is that they're going through. So yeah,
vibes. Amazing. Just remind the people your handles so people can check you out.
So I am DIADAY music on Instagram and TikTok. So that's Dia Day Music. And then I am Dia space Day on all DSPs. So basically day in Spanish and then day in English. 2 words.
Day
squared. Dia Day. The D.I.A.day. The DIA to the DAY.
Absolutely stunning. We're going to jump in a little interview now, guys. And then we're going to introduce you back on because you're going to do something special for us. I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, let's go straight in with a bit of Kokoroko. I love I've just been obsessed, and this particular track, actually I really want to feature it because I recently DJ'd Mare Street Market, and someone that was literally seated having dinner stopped their dinner to come over to the decks and just said, "Thank you for playing this song, because this is actually a song that my granddad introduced me to. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but I haven't heard this for a long time since his passing." So I was like, wow, okay. And they were like, "Thank you so much for playing that." So I really want to play it. Yeah, I got so much, like, I literally was just like, for real, the fact that you stopped your dinner to come over and thank me to play this track is crazy. And I just was not expecting it either. I thought they were going to be like, "What is this?" I genuinely thought they were going to be like, "What is this? What?" But no, for real, like they came over really gracefully, and yeah, they were like, "Yeah, my granddad introduced me to this track," and I was like, crazy. So, I'm gonna play a little bit of Kokoroko. This is Tide, and then we'll jump into our quick little vibe that we're gonna do. So yeah, enjoy it, guys. We'll be back very soon. Welcome back to the Juice Presents Cooking Show, brought to you by K-Slice. We're back. Sorry, we're just sorting out some tracks because Dio's also going to spit for us. Hello.
Rap.
I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
I know. But I'm going to chill now, and I'm just going to vibe whilst you vibe on air. But yeah, enjoy.
Yeah. In the morning I was on the train reading Tehillim, grateful for the knowledge that I'm getting in, meditating on the meaning of the word I'm letting in. What you know about the type of favor I be stepping in. Get into the radio, I take a sec to settle in. Mic stays beckoning, I've been reckoning with demons tried to silence me, and the silence has been deafening, but peace is guaranteed, yeah, promised, no questioning. I take my time with my music, cause my music's timeless, and every time I hit the mic I turn it gold like Midas. In the south of the city, no Phrygia don't mind us, no prosperity pursuit, keep it humble, righteous. Reckon there's a bit of blindness in your iris, why you always wanna focus on the things we let divide us. Selfish ambition could be quick to leave you mindless, but bro told me chase the peace, cause the peace is priceless. And I'm praying for guidance, praying that I don't lose my way, asking for patience to walk the path I choose to take, like praying for guidance, praying that I don't lose my way, asking for patience to walk the path I choose to. My time has not yet come, but any time is right for you. So just worry about yourself and worry not about what I do. Impatience to hear my cadence, a hunger for something new. Peeking through the blinds just to get a glimpse of the view. Like a tree that's planted by the river, fruits what I deliver. Gift to given to me by the giver. Unworthy sinner, and every time I shrink he makes me bigger. Like what? I'm praying for guidance, praying that I don't lose my way. Asking for patience, what to walk the path I choose to take. Praying for guidance, praying that I don't lose my way. Asking for patience to walk the path I choose to take. Yeah. What are you saying, K-Slice? I think we should speed it up a little bit. I'm D-I-A to the D-A-Y. Purify when I jump on a mic like D-I-A to the D-A-Y. D-I-A to the D-A-D day. D-I dot A dot day dot. Look when I spit, yeah, it's a new wave dot. D dot I dot A dot day dot. Look when I spit, yeah, it's a new wave dot. D dot I dot A dot day dot. Look when I spit, yeah, it's a new D dot I dot A dot day dot. Look when I spit, yeah, it's a new. What am I seeing? I got a chance and I'm keeping it. Say there's no hope, but I'm feeling it. I might just flow, but I'm keeping it. Earning my peas, but they're keeping it. I made a mess, I'm still cleaning it. God keeps me blessed, so I see it. And don't watch that CNN, man, it's depressing me. Please do not lecture me. I could just picture me top of the slopes to the victory, fighting the tyranny. I want that synergy, I need a mini-me, so I could pass on a legacy and generational heresy. You ain't been seeing the best of me, no. Cause the devil's been testing me, but God loves to invest in me since I gave him the rest of me. Like, it's been a long time since I last crossed the border. Been given golden time to get my home in order. I let my old stuff go, but no, I ain't a hoarder. Only thing I hold on to is being a beloved daughter. And I've been on a block like DD. Never let the snake defeat me. Chillin', never billing cause I'm sneaky. Add a couple titles to my CV. D dot I to the A to the day. D dot I to the A to the day. D dot I to the A to the day. Every time I spit you sway like D to the I to the A. D to the I to the what like D to the I to the A. Like D dot A dot day. Yeah. Alright. You man stay stuck like my freezer door. What you think you're giving them cold licks for? Looking at me like you're wanting war. My bars, eyes blast, I rip through your core. Yes. Oh, we've got a visitor. Hello. Let me read that again. Like, you man stay stuck like my freezer door. What you think you're giving them cold looks for? Looking at me like you're wanting war. My bars, eyes blast, I rip through your core. It's mad. You do not wanna vex me. Cold shoulder energy, I got plenty, and I can be very petty. Come to your yard and leave a fridge empty. D-I-A to the D-A-Y. Pure fire when I jump on a mic like D-I-A to the D-A-Y. It's on site like D dot I dot A dot day dot. Look when I spit, yeah, it's a new wave dot. D dot I dot A dot day dot. Look when I spit, yeah, it's a new. Oh, man. Yeah, man, let's call it there. The ADHD kicked in. There's too much going on outside the window, you know, like that.
There is too much going on in the window. Love, man. That was hard. That was really hard. Come on. Obviously, not that the listeners don't know who you are, but just remind us your socials.
Just in case I didn't spell my name enough times.
Just in case you didn't.
So yeah, my name is Dia Day. That is Dia Day Music. D-I-A-D-A-Y Music on Instagram and TikTok and all of them platforms they are. And then on DSPs it is Dia Day. That's D-I-A space D-A-Y, aka Day in Spanish and Day in English. Yes, you can find me everywhere.
We can find you everywhere.
Find me everywhere.
Just check her out. There's so much to come in the new year. I'm gonna be posting so much. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for doing something special.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. And it's
good.
What a way.
What
Like
a vibe.
life has changed.
Indeed, it
Life
has.
changed.
Good changes only.
Yeah, obviously. Come on. It's been a vibe, and then we're gonna end this way. Bye.
Bye.